Hey, this is Paul with Taxicab Chronicles. I am the cab driver in Taxicab Chronicles. Thank you for watching today as we explore a topic that people are really interested in. How dangerous is it to drive a taxi?
Taxi!
So people are endlessly fascinated with the cab business. I have customers who get in my car and ask me questions constantly about it. And one of the most frequent questions I get is, isn't it dangerous to drive a taxi? And I can tell you that, in a lot of ways it is, in a lot of ways it isn't. And this is a really good question, so I'm going to cover it right now. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to take a second to gripe here because this happens all over Oklahoma City. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm usually a very patient and nice and caring and understanding person, but I came all the way down this street, and this is what I find. The whole street blocked off. Whole street. All right, one of the biggest ways it is dangerous to drive a taxi is maybe not what you think it would be. It is all these other drivers out here. These people who are driving around, shooting vlogs while they drive, and putting on makeup, talking on their cell phones, drinking and driving. Oh my goodness, I hate drunk drivers. I'm sorry if you've done it. Stop doing it. And it's just these people who do not know how to drive. It can be a very dangerous situation out here. It is you have to be on your guard every single minute that you are out on the road. And so when you drive for long periods of time like I used to do, I used to drive 10 to 14 hours a day, it can really be exhausting, extremely exhausting to completely be on your guard. But you have to be. You cannot let your guard down because it is a dangerous place out here. So I'm sitting in front of Grounds for Compassion Coffee, run by a really awesome guy named Brad. Check these guys out. Grounds for Compassion. It's just incredible. I'll put the website up here. And just got a cup of coffee for my wife and I, and she got the Mocha Java. I got an Americano using their Heavens Blend Espresso, which is just some of the best stuff in the world. And I got lucky today, but they have their own roasting facility, and in the back they were testing out cold brew Brazilian coffee. It is incredible. I mean, there's no sweetener, no cream in this, and I usually do like my coffee sweet and creamy. This is just awesome. I mean, I don't know why I got the other stuff, although I am going to be editing this video today like mad. You might see this video up immediately. I already feel like I'm talking 100 miles an hour. I don't think I'm going to have to edit out all the ums and buts right now, which is really cool because I usually have a lot of ums and buts. You have to understand, I'm very tired whenever I'm making these videos. Now, people think that we are in danger of being robbed all the time. We're in danger of things like that happening. Now, I can tell you that I don't know. My perspective is different than the average person's because I absolutely believe that God protects me. I believe that God tries to guide my path and tell me where I should go and where I shouldn't. And the danger is that whenever I don't listen to him, I get off path, off track, and suddenly I am in danger of being in a place where he doesn't want me to be, which could lead to me being robbed. But for the most part, I try my best to stay on path and to stay on track and to ask God, is this where I need to go? Is this where I want to go? Is this where you want me to go? I love this stuff. I feel like I'm going 100 miles an hour right now, and I haven't even moved yet. The dentist who works in the back, he said, man, when you drink this, you're going to feel like you need to get out and push that taxi. And I tell you, he's right. If you're ever in Oklahoma City, go down to 36th and College. Grounds for Compassion is, I mean, these guys are incredible. I mean, their coffee's really good. Their mission is good. Their coffee shop is awesome. You go there in the morning, you're going to see, Israel Hanna, who's an incredible guy. He's one of their basically he's like a staff pastor who's there just to help you. And man, I just love this place. I wish I got by here more often. So I had a guy who we had this conversation. It was a political conversation, and you should never talk politics. We disagreed on a topic, and the topic really was, how do you react to people? I do not believe that you should respond to people with hatred. I think that if people come at you with hatred, whether they're police or anybody else, you need to respond with love. And that was the premise of my argument with him, was that whenever people treat you poorly, and I understand that people are treated poorly, and I believe that it's very likely that African Americans are treated more poorly than other races. But no matter who's treating you poorly and for what reason, if you will react with love, then things will turn out okay. You cannot affect how people treat you, but you can change how you react toward people. And that was the premise of my argument. Now, when he got pretty angry by the end of it, and when we got there, I wouldn't let him out of my car until he paid me. But once he paid me, he said, you know, if I had a gun right now, I would shoot you in the head and leave your children fatherless. And I said, well, you couldn't because you don't have a gun, and God protects me, so I'm not worried about you. He got out of the car, and that was it. But that is probably the closest I've come as far as like death threats go. For the most part, people are pretty cool. I just don't have any problems with people. I just ordered food, and I just got out of Grounds for Compassion, and I ordered food from this place right here, for Jace Diner. Let's see if we can. This is the best Thai and Laotian food place ever. It's situated between all of these little taquerias on the south side, which is the Hispanic side of town here, and you got auto park places and taquerias and Mexican joints, and then you've got this Laotian place, which is crazy, but it's so good. Well, now I have had people run out on me. I've had about 4 people in the last year decide they were going to skip out on me, and they were all for very small amounts. The most was, I think, $30, and that was enough for me to almost be angry. But I got another call immediately after, and it was 2 minutes away, so that worked out. I just don't worry about these things. Now, I started driving a taxi in San Antonio in 2004, and back then, it was a different world as far as the cabs go. But I had this one guy. It was kind of funny. He was a very effeminate man, and we went a long ways. We were probably close to his destination when he said, "Hey, by the way, I hate to tell you this, but I don't have any money." And I said, "Okay." And I locked the doors and I pulled into a driveway. Now, my intention was to turn around and go back to where I picked him up from. I thought, well, you know what? If you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to get you to where you want to go. I'm going to take you back. And he might have thought something else. Now, I am a big guy. I'm 6'5", and I am a huge person. And now, I'm not a pacifist, but I certainly am not violent in any way. I've never been in a fight in my life. I talk my way out of things. But he didn't know that. And so who knows what he thought I was going to do to him. But bumpy roads. He unlocked that door in a flash, had that door open, and was running for his life, flailing his arms and screaming to high heaven. It was so funny. And now, 10, 12 years later, however long ago it was, I'm still getting a laugh out of it, and this is probably the 10,000th time I've told the story, so it was absolutely worth the money I lost. And that is exactly what I mean when I say you can't change how people act towards you, but you can change how you react toward them. Sometimes things don't go right. Sometimes people run out on you. They owe you money. They treat you badly. They say they're going to shoot you in the head. You can't change that. But what you can do is to react in a way that is filled with love and understanding. Anyway, that's my perspective. I know I'm long-winded. Thank you for putting up with me. See y'all later.
Taxi!